Hey everyone. Um, so the title of this video is I Dream of Labor is pretty counter-leftist. Um, there's a lot of discourse that goes around among leftist young people about how people don't dream, like they don't have a dream job because they don't dream of labor. And I don't want to seem super like counter-leftist. I understand all of that, but it is very important to me and my that me and my coworkers take this job, healthcare, very seriously, specifically in the emergency department. Um, so what I will say is that this job is one of those passion jobs. Uh, People, when they're kids, say, "I want to help people," and this is one of those jobs that you get to do that. And there's other passion jobs too, social workers, teachers, and that passion, that like innate goodness, I'll say, um, to help people, it is used against healthcare workers, uh, to like against us as far as like the pay goes. Um, the working overtime is a big one, and you know taking unsafe ratios, that's another big one too. You'll have like a million patients and the emergency department is very understaffed. We can't handle all of that, but you know they they're passionate workers, we are, and administration will use that to basically make us work in understaffed, under-equipped departments. So I completely understand that I don't dream of labor. My dreams are, you know, X, Y, and Z. And I mean, I have, dreams too, and I don't want to seem like I'm like one of the good ones or like say this generation doesn't want to work, blah, 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 blah. I'm not here to, criticize that discussion. There's a I'll get into it a little bit more later, but I mean, it's extremely valid. I mean, I have dreams that, have nothing to do with this job. Um, and this job is a job. I do it for the money. I need to eat. I need to have a roof over my head. I need money to do the things that I want to do in life. But there, it is very important that people take this seriously. Um, And if you don't take it seriously, then you need to find another job. If this isn't, if you're not doing it to help the patients, get out. Um, Not to say that I'm not empathetic to my coworkers. Like, I deal with burnout too. Burnout's super bad, especially among EMTs. Um, like, the pay's bad, the working conditions are bad. Pretty much, like, it's just not a great job. But the second that you lose like the sight, or I guess the motivation that brought you to this job in the first place, that's what I take a problem with. So in this job, like you can't just, you don't get to quit. If you're having a bad day or, you're having personal problems in your life, you can't just walk out on the job or even do a bad job while you're doing it. You have to take it seriously. It's not about you. Like it's not just about you. It's about the patients. So if you have to just sit there and take like I don't know, bad conditions, you know, patients that are complaining needlessly or understaffed, under-equipped. I mean, you have to do it. you know. And of course, am always critical of the administrators. I'll say we need more staffing. We need more better equipment. We need all this stuff. I will always, be critical of that. But when you go into work, you go into work to help people. You don't get to just check out. This job is essential, and you have to show up and work hard. So whenever I see coworkers that are dismissive of patients, probably the biggest example of this is uh, people that are like dismissive of homeless people, houseless. I take a I take offense, or I say something, you know, I believe it's a big problem, and I'll make sure that it's known. The ER is more or less the front lines of healthcare. Every patient that comes into the ER gets evaluated by a doctor. It's literally the law. I am certainly not above, uh, I won't say making fun of patients, but, making jokes. A patient comes in for something that's not an emergency. Just to give an example, I don't know. Somebody gets really high on marijuana and they get super paranoid and they come into the emergency department. Like, I'll make jokes with my coworkers, but when they're being dismissive of patients, um, it's about being a professional. Uh, you know, I don't want to seem like I don't want to seem like I'm above it. Certainly, I'm not. But there is a sanctity about being a healthcare worker, and you need to be a professional. Something that I do think about a lot, especially working in healthcare in America, is that, healthcare is a business. The two hospitals that I've worked for, they were both private hospitals, and they exist to make money. And I really wonder, how much am I helping people? Even if I provide high quality patient care, I speak Spanish to the patients, be able to communicate with them in their language. I do go above and beyond everything that I can to help them. They'll still be hit with insane hospital bills. Um, they, we're understaffed in the ER. We might have a completely full ER, every single bed's taken, and there's patients in the waiting room with dire conditions that aren't able to come back. And I sometimes wonder, how much am I helping them? I let like doubt uh, seep in, but you can't give in to that. You have to believe. You show up to work to help people. And if you think that what you're doing doesn't matter, then you need to get out. Make room for someone else to come and replace you because it does matter. I will say, at least personally, one thing that always attracted me to this job in emergency medicine is that I am a racial minority. I am black, I'm Latino, I have Native American blood in me, and these populations are very underserved. Some of these patients that they cannot like I wouldn't they don't have good insurance to get uh, appointments with their doctor. Sometimes the highest level of care that they can get is in the emergency department. So I do take it very personally that everyone that works in the ER takes it very seriously. And I do take a lot of pride in being able to give high quality care to these patients. So I do take it personally that everyone takes it very seriously, that everyone shows up to work to grind. And even if this job, I work for a department that's under-equipped, understaffed, you know, I, even if I having a terrible day, work sucks and I just have to take it, I will continue to take it. I complain about my job all the time to my friends, and one of my friends said, "Have you ever considered getting a job somewhere else, doing something else, a completely different profession?" And that thought was super foreign to me. I never thought about working somewhere else or doing something else because even if I complain about it all the time, I will keep on taking it and doing everything I can because it's important. It's important that the patients get the best quality care that, I can conceive of. So, these hospitals have to be staffed with someone, and I'll continue to work as hard as I can and try to be the best healthcare provider that I can to do it. So, the thought of working another job, getting a 9 to 5 job that doesn't stress me out as much as this job does. I mean, I will continue to do it. Um, I'll do whatever I can to help serve the community. I take a lot of pride in my work. Whenever I think about the patients that are so thankful that they had another healthcare worker that's able to speak Spanish, they say, "Oh, I was so worried about coming into the hospital because I was worried no one else could speak Spanish. Thank you so much for being here." Like, that's the part that I take the most pride in. Whenever I'm walking down the street or I think about any of my insecurities, I think about those things. Those are the things that I take the most pride in. So I don't want to come off as holier than thou. I definitely understand all of my coworkers that have a lot of burnout, overworked, underpaid. I get that. Um, and I definitely don't want to, like, I don't know, come off as holier than thou or like insult them. But it is important to me, you know, what I do, what we do. So, anyway, that's kind of the whole point of this. I, that's kind of why I dream of labor, I guess. I dream of this job. I literally couldn't think of doing anything else. I couldn't get a normal job if I wanted to. It's just, yeah. And even if this job burns me out to death, I I'll keep doing it as long as I physically and mentally can. So, yeah. Anyway, this job's essential. Somebody has to do it. And, you know, I'm gonna work really hard to do it, you know? You work to help people. That's the great thing about healthcare. Uh, well, that's pretty much all I have to say. I think I'll just end the commentary there. But yeah, a little bit of a philosophy on why I do what I do. So, that's all. I will see you all tomorrow.